Spiritual Manthan.
Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a never-ending winter? Like everything around you is icy, grey, and completely void of warmth? Trust me, you're not alone. Life has a knack for trapping us in chilly seasons where the sun just refuses to shine. But here's the incredible part. No matter how long or cold that winter feels, spring always returns. Today, I want to share with you why these dark winters in our lives don't last forever, how they actually prepare us for brighter days, and the subtle yet powerful signs that a season of renewal is already on its way. So, grab a warm drink, settle in, and let's talk about moving from bitter cold to blossoming blooms both in nature and in our own journeys. Life isn't meant to be just one continuous season. It's more like a series of changing landscapes, each with its own colors, challenges, and rewards. Imagine how boring it would be if it were perpetually summer, hot and unchanging, without a hint of crisp autumn air or soft spring sunshine to break the monotony. In the same way, our personal seasons shift from moments of pure joy to patches of rough terrain, and sometimes land in that strange space in between where we're just not sure if it's going to rain or shine. There's a rhythm to these changes, and if you pay attention, you'll see that each season has something unique to teach you. Sometimes we're lucky enough to coast through a season of life where everything clicks. You know those weeks or months where opportunities practically knock down your door, and you feel like you're waltzing around on cloud nine. Job offers line up, relationships bloom, and even the weather seems to cooperate with your plans. It's as if the universe itself is cheering you on, whispering, "Keep going. You've got this." And for a while, it feels like you can do no wrong. It's basically the emotional version of spring, new beginnings, fresh energy, and abundant light wherever you look. On the flip side, we all know the reality of those darker winters. One day, you're unstoppable, and the next, you're trudging through slush and snow, feeling like every step is twice as hard as it should be. It's as if some cosmic storm rolled in out of nowhere, leaving you stumbling in the dark with only a flickering lantern of hope. Bills pile up, relationships strain, self-doubt creeps in. Even getting out of bed can feel like climbing a mountain with a boulder on your back. The cold bites deeper than you imagined, and you start to wonder, how on earth am I ever going to find my way out of this blizzard? Then there are those awkward, in-between seasons, the transitional phases where you're not sure if you're heading into a new opportunity or if you're about to circle back to a familiar struggle. It's a limbo of sorts, like you're standing at the edge of a forest, unsure whether to venture deeper or turn around. In these moments, it can feel like progress is on pause, and you might start asking yourself if you're stuck or simply catching your breath before the next big leap. It's a bit like early spring, when the snow hasn't fully melted, but the trees haven't fully bloomed either. The air is filled with potential, but also with uncertainty. Interestingly enough, life sometimes mixes it all up and throws us curveballs in the form of complex seasons where blessings and burdens arrive on the same day. Maybe you land your dream job offer, but your personal life hits a rough patch at the exact same time. Or your relationship flourishes just as your finances take a nosedive. It's confusing, right? You're like a juggling act on a unicycle, trying to keep everything in motion without losing your balance. But here's something I've learned. These seasons of mixed emotions are often catalysts for our biggest growth spurts. They force us to expand our perspective and realize that joy and sorrow can coexist, and that's okay. Now, let's talk about the tough stuff, those relentless winters that make you feel as though you're trapped in a snow globe shaken by life's rough hands. You might even think that your personal spring has lost its way and might never arrive. These are the times you lie awake at night, replaying old mistakes or regretting missed chances. It's like a thick, endless frost that refuses to thaw, leaving you numb and wondering if warmth was just an illusion. But even in the harshest winters, if you stand still long enough, you'll notice signs that a shift is brewing, a subtle promise that the sun will rise again. One of the simplest signs the universe can send is a random dose of inspiration. Maybe you're scrolling through social media and a motivational quote pops up just when you needed it most. Or perhaps a stranger says something uplifting that echoes exactly what your heart has been longing to hear. It might be a lyric in a song or a line in a book that hits you like a lightning bolt of hope. These moments are like tiny rays of light piercing the storm clouds, reminding you that you're not alone in the cold, that the ice around you is starting to crack. Then there's something I like to call the release day, which might involve tears, laughter, or even quiet reflection. It's that moment when you suddenly feel everything at once. Maybe a movie scene resonates with something deep inside you, or a friend shares a touching story that mirrors your own fears and dreams. In that instant, tears might fall not out of pure sadness, but as a cleansing wave of understanding and acceptance. Think of it like the first day of melting snow, when water runs freely down the streets, signaling that the earth is finally preparing for spring. Your tears are proof that something within you is thawing, making space for new growth. Have you ever had the universe give you an almost eerie green light? You're wrestling with a decision, maybe moving to a new city or leaving a stifling job, and suddenly it feels like the world starts dropping hints everywhere. The perfect opportunity lands in your inbox. A billboard slogan that lines up with your exact dilemma stops you in your tracks. A friend randomly brings up a story that aligns with your situation, urging you to believe in new possibilities. It's like stepping into a riddle that only you can solve. And even if you're still scared, these signs tend to nudge you forward, whispering, "Go for it." Spring is coming. Life also has a funny way of forcing you to hit the brakes when you're running on empty. Maybe you've been going non-stop, convinced that you can't afford to slow down, pushing yourself to the edge until you're burned out and barely functional. Then, out of nowhere, bam, you get laid off, or you fall ill, or the project you've been slaving over suddenly goes on hold. Sure, it feels like a cosmic slap in the face at first, but sometimes this pause is actually your chance to regroup, breathe, and let your body and mind catch up with each other. It's nature's version of putting seeds in the ground and giving them time to germinate before you see the first shoots of green. Another amazing sign is the arrival of a new person in your life who lights up your path like a lantern in a dark tunnel. This could be a mentor, a friend, or even a casual acquaintance who says something that shifts your entire outlook. They don't necessarily solve your problems, but they remind you of the power of hope. They might even say something as simple as, "Hey, let's talk about the good stuff for a change," pulling you out of that endless cycle of negativity. It's like a fresh gust of spring air, clearing away the stale winter atmosphere. And, of course, there are those wake-up calls that catch you off guard, moments that yank you out of your day-to-day worries and make you see life differently. These can be sobering experiences, a sudden loss, a health scare, or even witnessing a selfless act of kindness. They remind you that, despite your troubles, you're still here, breathing with a chance to make things better. Just knowing that time is precious can jolt you into action. It's a reality check that urges you to live more fully, appreciate what you have, and honor those who can't be here to chase their own dreams. So, how do we keep going when our personal winters seem to drag on longer than expected? For starters, recognize that winter is just one chapter of the story. It might feel like an eternal blizzard now, but look back at your life. Haven't you overcome tough times before? You have more resilience than you give yourself credit for. You've weathered storms, navigated heartbreak, and managed to find slivers of hope when everything seemed lost. That inner strength is like a hidden furnace, quietly keeping you warm even when the world outside feels frozen solid. Another step is to look for those little signs of spring in your everyday routine. It could be something as simple as finding a new hobby that sparks joy, reconnecting with an old friend, or noticing that the sun is staying out a bit longer each evening. These small moments of light are often overlooked when we're stuck in a cycle of negativity. But if you pay close attention, they're like tiny flowers peeking out from beneath the snowproof that new beginnings are always in the works, even if you can't see them yet. And don't forget that leaning on others is part of life's design. Winter can feel isolating, but isolation doesn't have to be your only option. A trusted friend, a supportive family member, or even an online community can offer insight, share burdens, and remind you that you're not fighting this battle alone. Sometimes, just sharing your struggles out loud can be the first big step toward healing. It's like opening a window on a stuffy day. Fresh air rushes in, and suddenly you realize how stifled you've been. Also, it's crucial to cut yourself some slack. We often expect ourselves to plow through obstacles without so much as a shiver. But just as no farmer plants seeds in the dead of winter and expects an immediate harvest, we shouldn't demand instant results when we're in the harshest season of our lives. Growth takes time, and patience truly is a virtue when everything feels bleak. If you need a day off to do nothing but watch silly videos or immerse yourself in a cozy blanket, that's okay. Your personal spring won't come any faster by beating yourself up about how long it's taking. Every winter does come with a silver lining. It tests us, shapes us, and shows us what we're truly made of. It's in these cold, harsh days that we learn how to cultivate inner warmth and discover strengths we never knew we had. Think about animals that hibernate. They conserve their energy to emerge strong and ready when spring arrives. In our own hibernation-like seasons, we gather wisdom, build resilience, and emerge with new determination to face whatever comes next. And then, almost suddenly, you'll notice a subtle shift. Maybe you wake up feeling a little lighter, or you catch yourself smiling for no particular reason. These moments are like the first real signs of spring. After a brutal winter, a whisper of sunlight, a hint of warmth, a gentle breeze that carries the scent of possibilities. It doesn't always happen dramatically, like a snap of the fingers, but in small magical increments. One day, your world just feels a bit brighter, and you realize that you've started to thaw from the inside out. Remember, the universe isn't out to punish you with permanent winters. Seasons are an essential part of life's grand design. The freezing months are there to teach us empathy, perseverance, and self-compassion, while the joyous springs remind us how precious it is to feel the sunlight on our faces. Even summer, with its warmth and abundance, can get overwhelming if it lasts too long. And autumn, with its falling leaves, often represents the bittersweet process of letting go. Each season serves its purpose, shaping us into more fully realized, more empathetic, and more hopeful people. So, if you're currently knee-deep in the cold and wondering if spring forgot about you, hold on. This isn't the end of your story. There are still chapters unwritten, days yet to be lived, and blossoms waiting to bloom in your life. The winter you're experiencing is temporary, even if it doesn't feel that way right now. Better days are waiting, along with moments of peace, love, and growth. The key is to hold on to hope, welcome the small signs of change, and trust that the cycles of life will eventually turn in your favor. It's my sincere wish that you find warmth in these words and strength in your own resilience. If you're listening to this and thinking, I really needed to hear that, then take it as your personal sign. Spring is already making its way into your world, step by gentle step. Let yourself believe in the new beginnings that are quietly unfolding beneath the snow. Whether it's in the form of a conversation with a friend, a random message of encouragement, or the simple act of giving yourself permission to rest, signs of spring are everywhere. Sometimes we just need to open our eyes and hearts to see them. I truly appreciate you spending time here with me today. If you've made it all the way to the end, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know how you're facing your current season or what new insights have come to light for you lately. Remember, we're all in this together, and we can learn so much from each other's experiences. If you have a friend who might be stuck in a dark winter, feel free to pass this message along to them. You never know what kind of impact a small gesture can have. As you go about your day, keep reminding yourself that the dark, frigid times are the soil in which hope and strength take root. Eventually, those roots will crack through the ice, reaching for the sunlight that's bound to return. And when it does, you'll be more than ready to bloom. So, here's to making it through the coldest nights and celebrating the dawn of brighter days. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay hopeful and take good care of yourself. Remember, no matter how harsh the winter, your spring is on the horizon. Let's keep each other warm until then. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.